Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 36. In today's class, we'll try to know what is a solenoid and a toroid, as well as we'll find out what is the magnetic field inside them. Okay, so first of all, what is a solenoid? A solenoid, a solenoid is an insulated insulated copper wire wound closely in the form of helix. Okay, as you can see, the copper wire is wound very closely, tightly, and what is it? And here, see, the current is entering. So if you see this side, here the current is coming out. Here the current is coming out. Okay, dot like this. And if you see this below one, here the current is entering. Current is entering. So it is cross for this. Okay, so you can write entering. For this you can write cross. Okay, so you'll see here the magnetic field inside your closely wound long solenoid will be uniform everywhere, whereas outside it will be zero. So in our case, we will be dealing with long solenoids. So let us try to know what is a long solenoid. A long solenoid means length of the solenoid is very large as compared to its diameter. Okay, now if you see here, okay, one more interesting thing which you should know, that the magnetic field inside the solenoid is uniform. Okay, and outside is zero. This you have to keep it in mind. Okay, now why it is zero and what is its uniform value, that we will find out after 5 minutes. Okay, so I have taken a cross sectional view of the solenoid, where I find this one is indicates that the current is coming out of the solenoid, and here it is entering. Okay, now if I try to draw the field lines inside the solenoid, how it is going to look like? It will be in this form. Okay, something like this, and it will be in this fashion. So you can ask me, sir, why is that the field lines are moving towards right? What about its direction? If you look at the diagram, the above one which I have drawn, you take one loop and try to analyze. You rotate all your four fingers of the right hand in the direction of the current, and thumb will give you the direction of the magnetic field. So it is quite obvious. If you do that, you'll see this side will be your north pole, this side will be your south pole. That means it is moving, the magnetic field lines are moving from south pole to north pole. And where it happens? It happens inside the bar magnet, where we see the magnetic field lines move from south pole to north pole. So these are the magnetic field lines. Okay, the few things we have to remember. What are those? No time writing. First one, that if looking at the above picture, we can say the solenoid behaves like a bar magnet. It behaves like a bar magnet. Okay, second one, according to our diagram, the right side of the solenoid will be north pole and the other will be your south pole. Okay. Now, one more thing I have told you in the beginning of the class, that if you see your magnetic field outside the solenoid is going to be 0. Why is it so? Because from Ampere's circuital law we know integration B dot dl is equal to mu naught I net. Okay. So if you consider outside, you see the same. If you consider one of the loops, you consider this one loop only. This one loop you consider. In this loop, what you see, the amount of current which is entering is also the same amount of current is coming out. So the direction are opposite. If you add them, it is going to be 0. So if my I net is going to be 0, this implies what about the magnetic field? It will be 0. So remember, outside the solenoid, the magnetic field is going to be 0. Okay. Now again we will draw a cross section of this, and then we will try to find out what is the magnetic field, what is the value of the magnetic field, because just now here I have only told that the magnetic field inside the solenoid is uniform, but what is its value, that we need to calculate. That comes as a 3-mark question. So now we will calculate that. Okay. So for that, again I have taken a cross sectional view of the solenoid, where we'll see one of the sides the current is entering, the other side it is coming out, as we have done in the earlier one. Okay. You'll see here the dot indicates that the field lines, the current is coming out, right? And what about this cross here? The current is into the plane of the paper. Okay. One side out, one side in. Now what about the magnetic field? We know that the magnetic field is going to be uniform inside your bar, inside your solenoid. It is of uniform. Okay. The magnetic field is like this. Followed. Now we, in order to calculate the magnetic field which is inside the solenoid, what we have to take? We have to take an Amperian loop. If you remember, if you have followed my previous video where I have discussed in Ampere's circuital law, we will always look after a Amperian loop. In our case, in this case, the best suitable Amperian loop is a rectangle. Okay, we'll take a rectangle of this fashion. Followed. So let me name it. It is A, B, C, D. So ABCD is a rectangle, and we have considered that to be an Amperian loop. It has got length L. This is the length. Okay. So ABCD is the rectangular Amperian loop. Rectangular Amperian loop. Okay. Now we'll apply Ampere's circuital law. We will apply ACL. ACL is Ampere's circuital law. So Ampere's circuital law means closed integration B dot dl. If you look at the Amperian loop, we will have 4 different these integrations. And what is this equal to according to Ampere's circuital law? Mu naught into I net. That means total current through the loop ABCD. Okay, I net is your total current through the loop ABCD. Now let us try to solve the LHS. If you determine the LHS, we'll solve the LHS. This integration B dot dl can be categorized for 4 parts. It B dot dl for which region? From A to B, plus integration B dot dl, here it will be from B to C. Okay. Then other 2 will be there, integration B dot dl, and here it will be from C to D, plus integration D to A B dot dl. Okay. So these are the quantities. Now you see which all quantities will remain and which one will go to 0. When we consider BC, this one here, the magnetic field is perpendicular to the current. Okay. So DL element, the magnetic field is perpendicular to the DL element. That means here in this case, from B to C, your theta is equal to 90 degree. If theta is equal to 90 degree, then what will happen to B dot dl? Cos 90 is how much? 0. So this term is totally gone. It will vanish. B to C will not contribute. The same logic you will be applying for D to A. This one will also be 0 because of the same reason, because theta is equal to 90 degree. Then what about DC? DC will also not contribute. Why it will not contribute? Because we know outside the DC basically lies outside the solenoid, and outside the solenoid we know that the magnetic field is 0. Therefore this term also goes to 0. But because why it goes to 0? Because outside the solenoid the magnetic field is 0. Therefore this term will also not contribute. So what is left for me? For me, it is what is left is integration a to b, b vector dot dl vector. And how can I solve this? This will be b dl cos 0. Why it is cos 0? Because my dl and b, both of them are in same direction. So I can write here it as cos 0 degree. Integration. Okay, I have told you Amperian loop is chosen in such a manner that the magnetic field is constant. So it will come out of the integration dl. Cos 0 is 1. So my LHS now become b integration dl. So let me give it as equation number 2. Okay, and this is your equation number 1. So if I put equation 2 in equation 1, what am I going to get? I will get b into integration dl means total length, that is L. B into L is equals to mu naught I, and let me write it total, I total. Okay, I total, mu naught I total. Followed. Now let us try to calculate this I total. What is I total then? I total is actually the total current through the loop A, B, C, D. Okay, and what will be your I total then? I total is equal to mathematically N into L into I. What is N then here? N is number of turns per unit volume. Unit length, per unit length. Okay, that is N. Followed. So now what will be my I total then? I can replace it in equation 3. So putting I total value in equation 3, what I'll have? B into L is equals to mu naught N L I. So L gets cancelled out. What is the magnetic field? B is equal to mu naught N I. Okay, so this is the value of your magnetic field on the inside the solenoid. Okay, now it was found that this value is not going to be constant throughout the solenoid. It was found that at the end of the solenoids, solenoid, the magnetic field is halved. That means at the edges, magnetic field at the edges is equal to mu naught Ni by 2. Okay, clear? At the edges means which portion we are talking about? Here and here, at these two portions. Okay, it becomes half. Now question comes in the exam for 1 mark. Question comes that if you are given with x-axis and y-axis, where this one is your magnetic field, and here you will see this will be your distance. Okay, distance axis. Now how can you plot the magnetic field in the solenoid? You can plot it in this fashion. You'll see here that the magnetic field remains constant. Okay, but when it comes to the edges of the solenoid, it becomes half. You can see here it becomes half. So this will be B by 2, and what will be this one? This one will be B. Okay, it becomes half. Followed. Now what about these positions? This will be your edges. This will be your end of the solenoid. Okay, just remember it becomes half. Clear? Now after this solenoid, we will read about your toroidal solenoid. So we'll give a heading that magnetic field due to a toroidal solenoid, or else it is also called as toroid. Okay, followed. So now let me design it first. So what I will do is, you will take a structure something like this. Let me draw it. Just a ring ball sort of. Where you see the ring ball, it is like that. Okay. Now over that, what we have, we will have your current carrying wire. It is wound like this. Throughout. Okay. So basically your current is entering here, and here the current comes out. Just you bend the solenoid, it will form a closed ring, that is your toroid or toroidal solenoid. So what we can write here is a solenoid bent into the form of a closed ring is called a toroidal solenoid. Now in order to calculate its magnetic field, we have to again take the cross sectional view. Okay, so let us take a cross sectional view of that, and then I'll show you. So I'm drawing it. Suppose this one is a bigger ring. Just 1 second. Draw it again. Clear? And here I will have an inner one. Okay, so what we will find out in the outside, we will have some dots. So what does it mean? It means here the current is coming out of the plane of the paper. Okay, as we have done in case of solenoid. Just imagine a solenoid and just try to bend it and close it. So whatever you will get, that is your toroid. Okay, so likewise dots will be there, and these dots will indicate that the current is coming out of the plane of the paper. And this side, the other one, that is cross will be there. Okay, clear? Now here we will be taking 3 points. 3 points are to be considered. What are these points? So one is an exterior point. So suppose somewhere here, it is Q. Then I will have an interior point. Okay, interior point means inside. Suppose maybe here, this is point P, is interior. Then you have a inside. Okay, inside means inside the toroid. Okay, so that point will be somewhere. Let me take it here. S. Okay, so now I have to draw my my Amperian loop, spherical Amperian loop at all these 3 points. Okay, so if at point P, let me consider let this be an Amperian loop like this. Okay, and here is the radius, center, and radius is R1. Okay, then for considering S point, which is inside the toroid, I will again consider an Amperian loop of this form. Okay, and here the radius, let it be your R2, and Q is outside the toroid, so let the radius from the center, the point be situated at a distance R3. Okay, that is R3. Basically these are your Amperian loops. Okay, for 3 points we have chosen. Followed. So we are supposed to find out the magnetic field at these 3 different points. Okay, so this point Q is your exterior point. So the first case, for the point Q, the exterior point, let us find out. We know from Ampere circuital law, integration B dot dl is equal to mu naught I. Okay, but outside the toroid, what is the amount of current? What is the value of I outside the toroid? It will be 0. Why is it 0? I have told you in the previous 5 minutes back. because each turn the same current comes out and enters in. So what is the net current? Net current will be 0. If the net current is 0, then what is the magnetic field at point Q? It will also be 0. I hope this is clear. Okay, for an exterior point. Then comes the interior point, point P, and that is an interior point. Okay, in the interior point, you see inside the toroid, the Amperian loop does not enclose any current. The Amperian loop of radius r1, it does not. The Amperian, we can write the Amperian loop doesn't enclose doesn't enclose any current. Therefore, I is equal to 0. So, if I is equal to 0 and if we apply our Ampere circuital law, integration B dot dl is equal to mu naught I, then this implies my magnetic field at point P will also be 0. Is it clear? Only you will see that your magnetic field exists inside the toroid. And what is the point we have taken in the diagram? S is the point in the inside of the toroid. Okay, what happens here? Let us see. Okay, so now here the length of the Amperian loop, the length of the Amperian loop is how much? 2 pi r2, because the radius is r2 as we have shown in the diagram. Okay, now here we'll take a variable, that is capital N. What is capital N? Capital N is total number of turns in the toroid. Okay, so don't get confused between small n and capital N. So what will be the total current in the loop? Total current in the loop will be how much? It will be N into I. That is the total current in the loop. Now we will apply Ampere circuital law. When we apply Ampere circuital law, B into, integration B dot dl, B same direction, dl same direction, theta 0, B is constant, they'll come out of the integration, then integration dl is how much? 2 pi r2. That is the total length. Okay, will be equal to mu naught, and total current in the loop is Ni. Followed, then what will be my B? B will be equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 pi r2. Okay, now let me introduce small n. What is small n? Small n we have already used in case of solenoid. It is number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. Therefore, what is the relation between capital N and small n? Your capital N will be 2 pi r2 into small n. Okay, so let me substitute the value of capital N in this above equation. B will be how much? Mu naught. Instead of n, what I can write? 2 pi r2 into small n into I is there, divided by 2 pi r2. So this gets cancelled out. What is left out? B is equal to mu naught Ni. It is very interesting to know the fact that this formula you have also seen that this is the same amount of magnetic field which was existing in the solenoid. So the final statement what you can make in this discussion is that a solenoid as well as for a toroid, the magnetic field inside them is equal. Okay, so the magnetic field inside a solenoid is equal to the magnetic field inside a toroid. And what is its value? Its value is mu naught Ni. Okay, so I hope all of you must have understood today's class. Kindly like and share this video. Do not forget to subscribe my channel, and any queries you have, you can mail me in the mail ID which is given below. Okay, thank you for your kind patience.